So that is input.
So now they should be able to hear.
Oh yeah.
So that is input.
Yeah.
So that is input. So that is input.
So now they should be able to
hear.
hear.
Oh,
They
oh,
have a lot of
yeah.
sound.
Oh yeah.
So that is input. So that is input.
So now they should be able
Oh
to
my
hear.
gosh.
Just mute your sounds.
I'm trying.
No,
Okay.
we got all the sound.
Oh my god.
Okay, only thing is, sorry, I still need to add. Up
Yes,
now.
from the laptop. Okay,
Yeah.
so,
Great, so much for stereo mics.
so speaking this direction, the mic is here. Okay.
They should be
yeah.
able to hear you
Yeah,
now. That's
yeah,
something.
we are ready. And thanks
After-
again, that's
After 17 minutes of like
70
silent
minutes.
happiness.
Although I like the holding up the sign sticker. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Bit tedious.
So yes, we managed finally.
This is what happens when Dad doesn't join us.
Yeah,
Not that Jairo is doing a bad job.
that usually happens when you give something that doesn't work for me. I just forgot everything from the last time, and I had to update all the software, and it took time, and then the things weren't working. But we managed. That's the spirit. We transformed into a sound.
Well,
So,
anyway.
So,
coming up today, we're gonna talk about the event. After that, we're gonna talk about the Prime League.
Well, actually, we're probably gonna show the new G1 course first, and then probably talk about the new World League that's gonna come in the game.
Okay.
so lots of things. Yeah, so let's start with the event.
Yeah, let's jump in because we were already late.
We are late, so let's go a bit fast. This weekend, we have Team Up. Team Up with your Alliance members because it's going to be a 5-star chart event. There is a kind of a lineup here, summarize of what you can get, and this time is kind of a guarantee because there won't be a chance crystal. This time, the far away you get in different tiers, the more you get. It's pretty straightforward and simple, and it's fair for everyone. And because there is not these chance crystals, I increased the amount of 4 stars. They're a bit more than usual, 5-star and 3-star. So let's see the whole lineup of the event with these amazing Titans backgrounds there and the 5-star, and it's the usual. So you can just go up and get some resources, alloy, energon, important to build up your city and your defenses, some shards, typical spark. And although the amounts may seem a bit small, you have to consider it's 60 prestigious. So everything multiplied by 60, it's a lot of stuff. For the battle zones, then we are getting the triple XP. Of course, we are not reverting that, and we can see that it's the lineup of the event that everyone prefers. So it will be triple XP, 5-star shards. If you are close to get your 5-star, congratulations. Remind we have like 4 legacy crystals where you can pick bots from the past or the new 5-star with a lineup of some of the most voted 5-star within the pool and some other characters. So that's a very fast summarized event. Should we jump into something else? Maybe dialogue? Maybe any question?
There was some request that we skip the dialogue this time and get right to the.
Well, that would make sense, really.
Yeah, considering we're a little bit late.
Yeah, we can skip it for now. If we run out of things to show later on, we can probably bring it back.
But we can talk like this all the time.
Yeah, no.
Megatron.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, next up we can talk about the G1 course. There's a new patch coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys can talk about it.
I can talk about it. Yeah, so we started by doing this controversial thing, creating a G1 core for Laser Optimus and Armada Megatron.
Yeah.
We can explain why. It's because like a lot of like players requested that. Still told us it was a little bit expensive to use, and what we wanted to do is actually not reduce the cost, but probably increase the special ability damage, so you get like more damage for the amount of ability that you spend on it. So it's not exactly a G1 board, but we still wanted to give it the G1 treatment, which is a
You
core.
can say it's the G1 shader, but the
Yeah.
G1 also treatment of having a unique core that actually boosts the bot's abilities.
Yeah, and it's like really specific, addressing a point that players really wanted to like get improved.
And come on, look how it looks. It's amazing. This G1 kind of shaders, and yeah, it's not kind of lore wise accurate, but it's a pretty cool effects that we can apply at any bot we want really, and yeah, it looks pretty amazing. So you will talk about what they do, and I can show them how they look.
Yeah, so this one on top of adding some special ability damage, it also generates a shield which absorbs 20% of all damage for 15 seconds.
Boom.
Boom. Do you wanna? So and Armada Megatron is gonna be for the Decepticon doing the same thing.
Yeah, I was showing Alpha Megatron. So.
Oh yeah, and yeah, Laser Optimus then.
Laser Optimus is what is it? So Laser Optimus, another one that looks pretty cool with the shader, very heroic, and the transformation into the trailer. I will do that for you, and you can see the little hands there, like he's planking on the ground and doing the track trick. Yeah, I'm a Decepticon player. And next one.
Next one, Silverbolt.
So Silverbolt.
Well, Silverbolt is a case of when we released the initial set of G1 cores, we didn't actually have parity for some bots. The idea was to do like some abilities on the cores that actually are kind of a reminiscence of the series. So, for example, like we had Skywalk that teleports. So we thought like it doesn't make sense to just have it on the same bot like on the other side, because usually Hound doing a kind of a decoy will not be fitting to like a drag strip and so forth. But we thought like after a while people were like, oh, my bot doesn't have this core and this core is really good, and I feel that me as a faction are disadvantaged. So a lot of these cores you will see are pretty much a reiteration of those cores for the other faction.
Yeah. So yeah, like yeah. For parity, actually, we actually made those cores so you could like enjoy. So for Silverbolt, the effect is known then, and it's like it boosts regular attacks damage, and every second your attack stuns your target for 5 seconds. So it's reminiscent from
Thundercracker.
Thundercracker, because those bots both have like this stun ability on the special ability, and they also now do it while they attack regular attacks.
Yeah, I think for Silverbolt this is a really good buff. A really good boost, because we buffed his ability damage quite significant, but the ability damage on his ability wouldn't work. Like so, actually enhanced ordinance works, but on the 5-star at least it's already quite high. So we thought that giving you an ability to do more attack and actually stun in your normal attack would be more useful for players.
Cool. So you have drag strip on the screen. Yeah. So for drag strip, what we wanted to do is increase special ability damage, and on attack it's gonna make a decoy that has 30% of your health, and this triggers every 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's a Hound's thing, which for me I do love it. That decoy just appears and takes like a bit of the damage from my Hound when he's in a kind of a hot zone. The decoy doesn't last too long, but it's good enough in order to put you out of the worst kind of situation.
Then we have Skydive. You're already there. So that's the one. So some players already noticed like a while, like kind of like some weeks ago, we modified like the VFX of Skywalk. It's because we were preparing the.
So people are saying that that core doesn't teleport back again. It was because we got a lot of feedback from people that had that core on Skywalk, that they hate the teleport because you were right next to a building that you wanted to attack, and he was going further away, meaning that he was just losing the target and maybe go to another target. So pretty much what we did.
So yeah, what we did is like, so the initial thing with the teleport was to try to get the bot outside of like the line of fire. So what we try to do this time is like keep this by making some sort of a teleport. The bot disappears in a halo, but it doesn't go back. But still, it's gonna lose the targeting from the defenses while it happens. So it's still very good to use like on the air class, which doesn't have like a lot of health points, because then it can divert the damage that it receives while it's there. So yeah, it works like the same way as Skywalk works now. Which kind of like it disappears in the halo and rests 7%.
Also, those bots have a lot of ability damage. So again, these are bots that do really need to boost their ability damage. So I think boosts like that can make them more sustainable in battle for sure.
Yeah, and then we have Nightbird. So for Nightbird, the health is increased, and while attacking, every 15 seconds you do a retreating backflip and restore 7% of health. Same thing here, we did with House a couple of weeks back. We kept the backflip and the restoring of health, but we have removed the fact that they were just like really jumping backwards. So they kind of like still jump backwards, but like very, like not much. So they stay more or less in place. Cool. And then finally, medics. We have first aid and hook. Both of them increase the power of the heal beam, as it's very important for healers to like keep this ability, and also gives a 25% move speed boost to the bots, which helps them like catching up faster. I assume with bots that would like go in the front.
Yeah, again, it was like it was something that some of the other healers had, and now we're actually making parity. Is it both have a speed boost?
I can check my spreadsheet. What was it? I
actually may have something.
That's a very good question.
Yeah, because I'm a bit confused, but I remember, like, I haven't worked on the G1 course, that's why I don't know it. That's why I'm asking now. We had like a core initially for Reflector and for what's the other one? Shockwave.
Yeah.
Reflector on the software, and from the Autobot side, yeah. So yeah, we didn't have for. So we will double check that if there is parity. We don't want to have like this parity between the bots, but I think everything should be fine. But it's something like we just like, oh hey, did we put the correct course for them? So Fabian is gonna do some checks just in case. Cool.
I recall something here.
Well, everyone is recording something. What's wrong?
Yeah, so Shockwave is different.
Yeah, so attack speed is the one that Wheeljack has, so that's correct. So Wheeljack and Shockwave are together, and then I guess all the remaining healers now get the speed boost, so that's fine. So yeah, that's all correct. So never mind. What?
No, that is correct.
Cool. And that's all, I guess, for G1 course.
Yeah.
Well, how to get them?
Yeah, how to get them, Hyro?
So for now, they will go through duplicates from these bots. We eventually will have an event like we have had in the past, where you can get a bronze, silver, and gold version of this. So you can start your collection or complete your advance in your collection of G1 course. And the other source will be getting duplicates from these bots. For now, they are you can get these bots. We don't have specific bundles, maybe for the medics, but not for the others. But you can still get these bots from premium crystals and these kind of sources or the sharp crystals.
There's a few questions going on about. Since a few questions about Reaper Snapper. Slash, we know there are a few bugs with we did fix I think the one where some of the raid buildings were targeting him or use his ability.
Yeah, there was two buildings. One was a beam laser, and by looking at it, I found another one that I fixed that one. But I don't
yeah, so it could be there are some other cases, as Puppy Bless mentioned, that we need to have a look, and his behavior about when he's trying to chase bots. This is something we need to check in code, so it might take a bit more time.
Yeah.
But all the other targeting issues we will actually fix as soon as possible. As for RC's backflip, we already made it a bit smaller. There's still some people who think that it might be too much. I don't know. We'll have a look and see how it feels. But we did make it a bit shorter backflip too for the G1 core. The same for Nightbird, so it doesn't travel that far back.
Yeah, there was another question. I don't know if we're doing question now. We're not doing question. Are we?
Well, we are.
There was another question at the
we're
beginning,
doing
and people were asking if Cosmos and Perceptor can hack Titans.
No.
No. That
So
would be
no
crazy.
hacking,
Yeah.
no stunning of Titans, because that would be boring if like the really big thing that just sits there and do nothing while you smash it.
Yeah.
There are we have a lot of cases of other cases of some buildings that are like combiners that are like impervious to that. It's because you don't want like your biggest or most baddest thing in the game to actually be susceptible to some cheap ability. So those things will not be affected by these things.
It's kind of common in any game, right? Like the last boss of the raid boss, you cannot make them some kind of spells, or because it just would break the game. Same for Titans.
Cool. And is that all with the G1 course?
Yeah. So I don't know if we want to talk about the Primal now.
I will take some time to do some more questions until I change to an account where I can demo some stuff.
So meanwhile, maybe any other question we can see there. We didn't even say hello to the people today. We were such in a rush. But I can see some of the usuals. Questions. Bugs, yeah, we know them. They are reported. Work in progress.
There is a couple of people are asking if we're gonna see the new bots today. No, we won't. They are still.
It's a bit too early for them. They're still a few weeks away, and we just started integrating this week, so we didn't have them in game to show. So it was a bit too early to actually start demonstrating. And we don't also want to reveal them because it's quite we haven't actually done the process of actually revealing what they are. Of course, a lot of people have guessed who they are. They probably are correct on the Decepticon side, probably not right on the Autobot side, but that's all I'm gonna say this one. But yeah, there are new bots coming in. We're gonna probably start showing them from the next stream and actually start speaking about their ability and everything. But unfortunately, no new bots this stream.
There will be info like next week or in the newsletter if you subscribed.
Yeah. So, about the new league stuff.
Let's go.
So, as you can see, and as you can probably have read in our newsletter, which hopefully you guys are assigned, from next week onwards, we're going to have a new league in the game. So, a new league called Prime League that will sit above the Cybertron League. The premise of this league is to give more challenge to some of the alliances that want to, give them a bit more like tougher competitions to fight against too, because like a lot of the top alliances do want to have more competition, but we don't want to push everyone into that. So for this case, we created this league. It's a bit special to the other one in a way that when you win in Cybertron League, you don't straight away get promoted to that league. So there is, if you see the screen, so as an officer or as a commander of an alliance, when you win something in Cybertron, that you will have the option if you want to promote to this league. The reason for this is that the league has an effect, or a few effects that you can actually change. So this is actually placeholder values. This is not how it's going to launch for next week. But it's gonna have like effects that we can change like whenever we want, probably like every other month. This could be like from added health to defenses, increases of DPS, increase of speed, a lot of other cool things we can do like on the go. So the idea is to give something fresh. So every month there will be something else, make it a bit more difficult, a bit more challenging, but a bit more interesting, hopefully, for the wars. So as you can see here, if you go into the Alliance war screen, you have the option to promote. If you choose to promote, you get promoted into the new league. Hopefully everything works, and then you'll be able to see like what the new league has actually has as an effect. This also will be available in the game when you go and you are in a war and you go scout the team in war. You'll be able to see like that this base is affected from these effects. A lot of people are asking what the rewards is going to be for this new league. So you can see them here. It's going to be 30,000 spark, 1,000 like premium shards, and just a little bit more increase on the resources to 400k. So it is quite a big jump. It is actually quite double on the spark and premium character shards from the previous league. The resource is not a big jump, but we know that alliances at that point don't really interested that much for resources, so we don't want to actually give that much more. But I think the people what care about is the spark and kind of the heavy one premium character crystal every war you do. So these are going to be the rewards. It's quite good. Hopefully that it makes incentive alliances to actually go into it, because I did hear rumors that because we have the promotion system that alliances will be like, I don't want to go and fight the top guys, I'm just gonna sit in Cybertron. So hopefully there will be a good incentive for people to take the risk. If we see of course alliances abusing and not just staying in Cybertron and camping in Cybertron, we might in the future have something that after a few successful wins we will put you in Prime League. So we don't want alliances that just always win to just camp Cybertron League and annoy the weak alliances. One of the goals is to actually liberate Cybertron from some of the top alliances, so they can actually be fighting amongst themselves, among the same difficulty levels. So let's see what happens. But this I think as a mechanic would be an interesting one. So give you a bit more challenge for the people that want to, give a bit more cooler rewards, and makes it a bit more fun for hopefully everyone. But we will keep monitoring how it's gonna be.
We wanted to make the reward worth. I mean, 30k spark probably is the main focus for players at this stage, and it's kind of the amount of spark that you can get in a weekend event. So you can get that on a daily basis, participating, battling, and it's to encourage also competition, to make sure that if you are very strong in game, it pays out when battling other people and getting this kind of rewards that allows you to be even a bit more strong. And it's also encouraging scale for players that haven't reached that level. So are you stuck or you are grinding up the different leagues? Now there is a stronger reason to get stronger and more participative in your alliance.
There are other reasons to do it. So now pretty much like a lot of people have actually seen in the alliance information page, you do have the total wars won, which has been counting from the start of the game. Now we're actually going to be start counting again for Prime League wars. So we want to see like whether alliance actually actually participates, and what I think is going to be important for people that want to be engaged in the highest level of gameplay. Maybe some alliances have done like 200 war wins, but they're not as active, and you want someone that's more active. In order to also help that, you might see that there is a war history tab. I would click it, but it won't be anything here because it's a test server and we don't have a war. Oh, actually, there is a war. So there's finally a war history tab that for all alliance information screens, so you can actually see the last 15 days what wars you've done and what results you've done. The idea is of course, like help alliances and keep a better management of the people, like to see what participation they had. And also for people that want to find an alliance, you can go now into the alliance ranking thing, and then you can find your alliance, check on it, and you can see the last few results, so you can know if the alliance has been active and how they actually perform.
That's pretty cool.
Actually, if you are part of that alliance, you can actually tap on it and you can actually get all the information of the previous history. So there's not much detail because, as I said, this is a testing, but you'll be able to see like all the attempts and the score for each individual player. But this will only be available to see for people that are part of that alliance. We still don't want to reveal that information for people outside the alliance, so that will not be there. But It's actually, as people have mentioned, it is live now, so you can actually go and check it. It's something I wanted to release like a week earlier so people to play around. It's been much requested, and I did want to do it for quite some time now, but it's finally here, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, this was Yannis' addition. Someone said, yeah, it's been like one of my pet projects for a while now. But I mean, the whole Prime League was kind of like my baby. But yeah, it's
really cool. It gives like a new fresh look to like the whole league system.
We do always hear from people's requests. Like there's a few other things in this build, like a bigger like button for going fast forward and stuff like that. So we always keep people's suggestion and see what we can actually implement. And a lot of my ideas is actually based on what people have actually suggested. So keep the suggestions coming, and if it's feasible, we'll try to get them into the game.
That's just Prime.
Yeah, and I think let me see if this actually works too, because I don't know if I've turned on this. Also in the wars won category now, oh yeah, it works. You will actually see both stats now, both the war wins and both the Prime League wins. So you can actually go and actually see quite in a brief kind of thing, like how many Prime War wins people have won. So people can actually keep seeing what the alliances can actually do now that the new Prime League is going to be active. And the last thing to mention about the Prime League before we start, let's talk about that. If you do lose, yes, you go back in Cybertron. So it's a whole if you keep winning, you stay there. If you lose, you go back. In Cybertron, as long as you win once, you have the option to get promoted. And then if you lose and you go back to Cybertron, you will have to win at least one more war before getting the option to go back up. So it's the whole one up, one down. But as I said, you can choose to promote yourself if you want to. The final thing that's going to come with the new Prime League is we're going to be doing a seasonal kind of tallies of which alliances has the most war wins. So we will be communicating in game. So the idea is probably maybe every month we will say we start a new season now that will be tracking all the war wins in the Cybertron in the Prime League, and at the end of the month we'll be saying this alliances have the most wins, and we'll see if we're gonna do some reward or something. But there's gonna definitely be some kind of newsfeed, the same thing as a leaderboard one. We're gonna be highlighting the alliances that actually finish in the top places. So hopefully that will be another incentive for people to just go for it, and then just maybe top alliances don't always avoid each other and actually fight.
Yeah, we are aware.
But so we get that will gonna come a bit later after we release the Prime League, and we'll have information in game about when the seasons are gonna be live. Cool. I don't know if there's any questions because I've been talking.
Yeah, you have the stream of information.
Not that many questions. There was one. Will you guys hide the Dragon Megatron and the other Beast Wars Optimus?
Okay, Beast Wars. Don't know.
We talked about it recently.
Yeah, we are definitely gonna introduce new Beast Wars soon. Eventually, yeah, I mean those characters are really good, and we would definitely want to make them. But yeah, we'll see in the future.
Yeah, so that's about it for now for questions. I'll keep an eye on them. So if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat, and we'll answer them probably after the Q&A that we're gonna have now.
Cool.
So for the first question. Are we doing the first question with an image?
Yeah. We have actually a Q&A, and it's kind of special because the first one comes from Hasbro. And I will just ask the question number one. It says, today Hasbro has unveiled its 2019 fan votes. So people going there, they can vote for their favorite characters. But can you name all the votes of the following image that now you will see? Yeah, I have to close this.
That's fine.
That's the image that is not appearing for some reason.
More technical problem.
Uh-oh. Let me see. It should disappear, but it's not.
Maybe we should just take a photo of it and actually show it on the
Print.
device.
Why is not showing the picture? Because that's what happened when I twitch it.
Do you have the picture somewhere? I'll just
Um,
on the thing.
yeah.
Alright, we'll just go old school here. Let's go.
Okay, it's even more interesting.
They were already like in the shadow on the picture, and now they're gonna be
In the shadow and pixelated. No. And how will you share that?
You'll see. You'll see. Wait. Ah. What? There's a reflection. It won't happen. Let's go. Okay, that will do. Okay, so. Oh, it's gonna be even harder now. Maybe I need to do it more and more. I don't know why it came out like this.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, that's
like
better.
this.
Yeah, that's definitely good.
So today's streaming is going all the school.
Alright,
Right.
so you have to tell me where I am on this camera. Wait, I can actually see.
Oh, you will put it on the. Well, I could put this the computer.
No, where's the thing?
Oof.
Focus. Wait.
Watch out. Wait for it. Questions coming.
No.
You're too close.
I'm too close. I can't do it. Yeah, no, we can't focus.
No, focus now. Focus now.
I can't do it.
You can do it.
Oh,
Look.
no.
There you go.
Stay close. Okay, good.
Somebody read the question.
Oh, so yeah, the question was, today Hasbro has unveiled its 2019 fan favorite. Can you name all the bots of this image, A, B, C, and D? Each letter, one bot. So you're gonna start putting your answers on the chat.
It's gone.
It's
gone.
Well, hopefully people are seeing it.
Oh boy.
Old school.
We're still online, right? We are not. Okay, you're writing and probably. Let me see Facebook. If we go to Transformers.
So you have to give all 4 in your answer, and you also have to give your in-game name, alliance, and level.
Yeah. People got it, so I do it again.
Yeah, if you want to check, you can go to the official site of Transformers.
And cast your vote as well.
Official Transformers Facebook page, and you can do your vote and then answer which vote is each one.
Yeah, and don't forget to give your alliance name, in-game name, and level, HQ level.
I can probably post it there, so you can.
I see a lot of people typing, so at least I got it.
Yeah, I posted the image directly from the site. That's where you can vote, and that's where you can tell us which vote is each.
Cool, yeah.
Hint, some of them are in game, some of them are not yet, but overall, I think it's not that hard.
Is it
Right?
all in game?
Oh,
No, they're not all in game.
no, it is.
What? They're all in game.
What?
What?
No, what? All the bots?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, unless it's a different.
They are
Oh yeah,
different.
it's because. Oh yeah, I'm
It's different
forgetting the some rename we did. Yeah, because I could
Ah.
only see the silhouette. Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know about the rename.
Yeah, it was we call strafe that.
Ah, okay.
I need to
Spoiler.
see.
And this one? We don't have.
Oh, actually. Oh yeah, no one has gotten that. That's an interesting one. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the bot is live and they have revealed it already. It's
So-
gonna be a really, really easy QA today.
Well, I mean, since they can't actually see the image, so
Cool. Okay, we need to get some answers.
Yeah.
I got one from the Twitch.
Could you paste it in the chat? I'm just going to do Facebook.
I can.
Actually, no, it's wrong. Sorry.
Go one.
I can do. I can do what? YouTube. So, 4 characters that will be voted. One of them as the favorite of 2019. I think I have my favorite already. I mean, it's very easy to to choose. For me, it's it's letter A, the first one. It's also favorite here in the company, and it's in game, and well, it's easy already to tell which vote is it, but it's one of the most popular.
No, like I still have not seen a correct answer on Twitch. I've seen like one that pretty much says 4 of the bots, but still not a correct answer on Twitch. So I think the first one that actually gets correct will actually get it. It won't be a stabby. So let's see who can actually get it. It can be out of order, but you do have to get the 4 characters. You don't have to put what letters they are, but you do have to put the correct 4 characters in there. So.
Oh wait, I don't. This one's. Oh no, it's there. Okay.
It's correct.
Yeah, it's correct.
correct.
Yeah, I couldn't see. This one's.
Yeah, there is no need to put the letters with their names. Just the names
That's also right.
as for them.
Well, no.
No, that's fine. Wrong.
What this? What? Because it's.
Oh wait. Oh, it changed. Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, we need one more.
All right, we got it. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it.
You got him. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's all.
So there are 3 winners. Congratulations to Groove Master from TF Knights. Congratulations to Combaspeak from Scorch Earth. And congratulations to Thunderbolt from Allspark Knights.
Congratulations, guys.
So yeah, give 24 hours and you should receive a little gift in the game. If you have not it by Monday, if you didn't have it by Monday, probably write the support, but they should be there in 24 hours.
Perfect. And don't forget to send your vote to Hasbro. I don't know the prices or if there is any, but you can always choose for your favorite character.
Is this something where they create a new figure?
I don't know. Good guesses. The
So,
votes
but
are
for the
now.
same, you like to show away about the art and see as a War of Cybertron. Yeah. So apparently, if you vote on the official Transformer page for one of those bots, it's going to come as a figure into 2020.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
there's
nice.
some nice bots in there.
And they say, can you identify the Decepticons? Is Noah a Decepticon now? I thought it was.
What?
In the previous one.
Yes,
Scrap them.
No, but in the one that is shadowed, it says, can you identify the Decepticons shown below?
Well, yeah, they're all pretty much the same. No is a function agnostic the way we have in the game, so I guess it's not a
because it's a bad boy there, it goes Decepticon. Yes. Second question, maybe? Because...
Yeah, I can read it if you want. Laser Optimus is getting a new power core in the game, but in the 2001 toy line Robots in Disguise, the Laser Optimus mold was used to create which Decepticon? So yeah, they used the same mold and they created a Decepticon with it. Which one was it? They don't pick how? Because they really don't look the same.
Well, maybe.
Strange.
It's a recolor. It's not a recolor, right? It's,
no, they really look different, right?
Yeah, I mean, but they always make different like versions of them that can be similar. We've seen a lot of bots that have been transforming over the years in order to make them fit with existing molds. So I always get that.
So we start to see a few answers. I don't see any right answer yet.
No. I'm gonna see if I get any questions. There was a questions about combiner in defense. Some people have asked if we're ever gonna see that in the game. Some other version of Transformers Argo, the ones in China, do have them. So
Hello, Debs.
the
He's
spoiler.
checking.
Hi, Deb.
Oh, hi.
We're still alive here. Everyone is happy.
Hopefully, we don't have to show any more images.
It didn't work.
What's
the
that?
image. The image didn't work.
What do you mean it didn't work?
I don't know.
Anyway, as I was saying, combined of defense, maybe we'll get them in our game soon. So stay tuned for that.
And that was the image.
Ah.
Whoops, I just
It's
turned off
alright.
the.
It's scroll up.
There we go.
We send them to the official site so they can.
Yeah, I had
go
to
back.
put my phone on there after taking a screen capture of
Oh,
like
I'm
a Iris
sorry,
screen.
guys. I feel like I'm.
Please don't leave us
Oh,
again.
Oh, little monkey.
So Debs, we go back to medieval age, like drawing things and putting
It's
pictures.
adorable. Oh my gosh.
And this is the. And we all work kind of in a company with computers and everything. Yay.
It's so cute.
So more answers.
sweet.
So I already got 3 winners.
Cool. What is the answer?
Amazing.
So the answer was Scourge. Scourge?
Scourge.
Scourge. And the winners are Defcon 64 from Prime Legends. We also have another winner with Rook, that's his in-game name, from the Alliance Darkness Eternal. And we have Hot Rod 23 from Prime Titans.
Cool. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
You own it. So yeah, the QA is done. We have the winners. We have 3 minutes left that we can do questions. If you have any, just drop it on the chat. Tell us.
Some people are asking, our combiners core, are we ever going to have something like that?
Are they
Core for
identical?
combiners.
Where do you equip them?
Yeah,
it's like a new section.
Not something we have a plan for and not something easy to implement. That's why we made Nexus Prime Core as the only way we could have integrated some system that actually affects the combiners. But it's not something easy to do, which is why we never did it. That's
And
why
also-
Nexus Prime Core will always be that one core to enhance the combiners.
I can imagine the size of that power core for a combiner, right?
Well, that would be interesting to do though. In terms of gameplay, it's like a lot of possibilities.
It is.
Yeah. Difficult to do, but interesting for sure.
People are asking if we're ever going to fix Prime Rush. Well, Prime Rush is a really hard disability we have in the game. It's not an ability that has a problem by itself. It's an ability that affects every other bot in every other state that it could possibly do. So there's always...
It was implemented at the beginning when
Yeah,
there was
we-
like 5 bots.
We've always, it's even then, it's like each bot has like different states of behavior. Someone is like pre-ability, during an ability cooldown, like targeting or milling or outpost bots. And we always try to fix it, but always find edge cases where something doesn't happen, and it's really, really hard to figure out. We will, as I said, this is one of the bugs we reported. We are gonna still have another go at it, but we'll never be promising that this ability will ever work because it's so many variables that actually affect when a bot actually. You tell another bot like ignore whatever you do and just follow me, and considering like all the different states of a bot could be in, there could be cases where it doesn't work. So we will definitely have another look, but it's not something promising. I know a lot of people get success of using it, but if you after you get used to like not do it before the bots are deployed or not doing it with the bots are using their ability, and then in most of the cases like 90-something% will actually work as you want it. We will work on it, but it is really, really hard.
Really,
That's
yeah,
one.
really
I mean, we have other problems abilities, and it's only one bot like this one affecting other characters. And it's something we launched the game with. So yeah, there you have it. I think we had like 5 different coders have a go on it at some point, and it's still what it is. But it is much better than it used to be for sure. I still remember that it didn't used to work like half of the times. But hopefully we'll definitely do another pass and it'll be better. But
How do you calculate Silverbone's skill damage?
I don't know, Fabian. Why don't you tell me how you calculate the performance?
Well, with our tool, we can calculate the damage, and the value that's in the description is the total amount of damage that Silverboard would do if the damage over time just are done until the very end of the duration. If the building is destroyed before, obviously you can add up. It's not going to work out. But yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah. Well, you could calculate it by just like dropping it and look at all the damage over time because it's every second, I believe, and then just add up. But I've tested it. I know it adds up.
A Spark extractor building, again, not something we have a plan for. One of the good things, like why we can actually scale up Spark rewards, is there always a need for people to get Spark. If we get a situation where you can easily move Spark between bots, it becomes problematic because then Spark doesn't have a big meaning. So like the whole like base wiping war or something is to get Spark, and a lot of other like economy parts of the game is depending on the people's need for Spark. So we don't want to have an easy way of actually moving this Spark around, because we do want to have it as a kind of a limited resource, and we want like people to have a reason to play the game to get that resource.
Correct. We have this kind of division between a static game that would be the buildings. You just tap on them, you get the resources, you build more and progress, and the more dynamic part of it, that is, you have to do something. You have to battle, you have to improve your bots, you have to strategize, and getting some rewards from it. And of course, Spark is one of the main focus. That's why they are often or almost always in every event. There is also why it's on the Alliance Wars, and we are increasing the amount. And that's also why when you get a duplicate, some of the compensation from that is the Spark.
Is there any pending? Probably we have to actually, we're running out of time, so we'll do another more question. Is there any other pending buffs for some of the older bots? So we are throwing out ideas about doing something. I think the next one would be more of like, instead of actually touching a bot specifically, maybe we'll just start affecting like classes, like the air bots. Maybe we reduce the damage done by the anti-air a bit more to actually make them more viable. There's other thing, like you have a lot of bots that do rushes. We are thinking of ways to actually enhance this, and we don't want to just target one bot specifically. We want to actually try to do something that would be cool for all the bots that rushes, because we have so many, like fire rushes, like target rushes, which have been there for the start of the game. So we will definitely do something to enhance them. But I think that's more of the line we're actually gonna go for.
Yeah, it's more about like at a class level to just change probably the composition of squads and like make them more, make some classes a bit more valuable.
Yeah, so because we do know there's problems, and some of the bots have not actually, like, as the game progressed, they're a bit left behind. But I mean, we cannot make all bots like really powerful, but we can at least help them, make them feel more welcome into your squads.
Yeah, or relevant in the current state of the game.
Cool. And I think that's
pretty much it. Yeah, join us in 2 weeks then.
Yeah.
We will show the new bots then.
Yeah.
We'll probably show everything, abilities and stuff.
Yeah, so in next 2 weeks we'll actually have everything that you need to know for the new bots. So in the meantime, please enjoy yourself, enjoy fighting the Titans. Well, I mean, that's already done for this week. Well, the next time they're gonna come, the new Prime War League that's gonna come out from next Thursday. Have fun playing that, and if you have any requests or anything, please throw some emails to us, and we'll just have consideration. But
Have a good 2 weeks.
Good weeks.
Enjoy the weekend, the event, get many shards.
Yeah, true. Let's don't forget the event. 5-star shards.
Well, yay.
So
See you
close
in 2
to the
weeks.
next 5-star bot. Anyway, see you guys. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.